Good day, students. Welcome to JSS 2 English Language, Week 11. We live in an age of information overload. Every day, newspapers, social media, textbooks, websites, and conversations bombard us with text. The ability to read efficiently, to extract exactly the information you need quickly and accurately, is one of the most valuable skills in the modern world. Poor readers read everything at the same slow speed. Skilled readers choose the right reading strategy for each task. Today we study 3 key reading strategies: skimming, scanning, and intensive reading. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to define and distinguish skimming, scanning, and intensive reading, apply each strategy to appropriate reading tasks, read comprehension passages more efficiently in examinations, evaluate the reliability and purpose of a text, and identify the main idea, supporting details, and organizational patterns of informational text. Let us read smarter. Efficient reading means choosing the right tool for the right job. Consider these 3 situations. Situation 1. You want to know whether today's newspaper has any story about the Super Eagles before deciding whether to read it. You would skim the headlines and opening lines. Situation 2. You know there is a football story and you want to find the final score. You would scan the article for the numbers. Situation 3. You are studying for an examination and need to understand every argument in a political science article. You would read it intensively. The 3 strategies: skimming, reading quickly to get the general idea or gist; scanning, moving eyes rapidly to find specific information; intensive reading, reading slowly and carefully to understand every word and idea fully. Each strategy is correct for different purposes. Using intensive reading when you only need the gist wastes time. Using skimming when you need full understanding will cause you to miss important details. Strategy 1. Skimming. Skimming is reading rapidly to get the main idea, general topic, or overall structure of a text without reading every word. When to skim: to decide whether a text is worth reading in full, to get an overview before detailed reading, to review familiar material, to read newspaper headlines and article leads. How to skim: read the title and headings, read the first sentence of each paragraph, or topic sentences usually carry the main idea, read the last paragraph, often a conclusion or summary. Let your eyes move quickly, do not stop at individual words. Try to read groups of 3 to 5 words at a time rather than word by word. Practice. A skilled skimmer can read a 1-page article in under 30 seconds and accurately report its main topic. With practice, you can develop this ability. Strategy 2. Scanning. Scanning is moving your eyes rapidly over a text to find a specific piece of information, a name, a date, a number, a keyword. When to scan: looking up a word in a dictionary, finding a specific name in a list, locating a phone number, finding the answer to a specific factual question in an examination passage. How to scan: know exactly what you are looking for before you start. Form a visual image of the target, a number, a name, a keyword. Move your eyes rapidly down the page in a Z pattern or column by column. When you see your target, stop and read that section carefully. Important: scanning is not reading, you are not processing meaning as you scan. You are searching. Once you find the information, switch to intensive reading to understand it in context. Strategy 3. Intensive reading. Intensive reading is careful, slow, analytical reading where you attend to every word, sentence, and idea. You activate prior knowledge, make inferences, identify arguments, question the text, and build a full understanding. When to read intensively: studying a textbook chapter, answering comprehension questions that require full understanding, reading a legal document, examination question, or formal letter, reading literature for appreciation and analysis. How to read intensively: slow down. Read each sentence until you understand it. Look up unknown words or note them for later. Pause at the end of each paragraph and summarize in your own words what you just read. Ask yourself, what is the main point here? How does this support the central idea? Does this agree or disagree with what I already know? SQ3R, a structured intensive reading method, survey, skim fast, question, turn headings into questions, read to answer your questions, recite, close text and recall answers, review, check answers against text. This method dramatically improves retention. Identifying text structure. Informational texts are organized in recognizable patterns. Recognizing the pattern helps you extract information faster. Common patterns include cause and effect, one event leads to another. Signal words, because, therefore, as a result, consequently, this led to. Problem and solution, a problem is identified and one or more solutions are proposed. Signal words, the problem is, one solution, to solve this, however. Compare and contrast, two or more things are examined for similarities and differences. Signal words, similarly, in contrast, on the other hand, however, both, unlike. Sequence or process, events or steps in order. Signal words, first, second, next, then, finally, subsequently. Description/definition, a person, place, or concept is described in detail. Argument/persuasion, a position is stated and supported with evidence. Let us apply reading strategies to a short passage. Passage: the Niger Delta oil spill of 2008 devastated over 4,000 square kilometers of mangrove forest, destroying fishing grounds that had sustained communities for generations. While oil companies initially disputed responsibility, a 2011 United Nations Environment Programme report confirmed that the damage was the result of decades of oil company negligence and government regulatory failure. Local communities have continued to call for a cleanup estimated to take 25 to 30 years and cost over $1 billion. Skimming task: what is this passage mainly about? After reading only the first sentence, oil spill damage in the Niger Delta. That is the gist, skim complete. Scanning task: how long will the cleanup take? Scan for numbers, you will find 25 to 30 years. Scan complete. Intensive reading tasks: what does the passage suggest about government responsibility? Inference question requiring careful reading: the UN report confirmed that both oil company negligence and government regulatory failure caused the damage, implying the government failed in its duty to regulate the oil companies. 3 reading examination mistakes. Mistake 1: using only one reading strategy regardless of the question. Use skimming to get overall understanding first, then scan for specific answers, then read intensively the relevant paragraphs for inference questions. Mistake 2: answering comprehension questions from memory without checking the text. Always return to the passage to verify your answer, even when you think you know it. Mistake 3: ignoring signal words in text structure, words like however, in contrast, and therefore are clues about how ideas relate. Missing these words causes you to misunderstand the writer's argument. Excellent work. Reading for information requires choosing the right strategy. Skimming, rapid reading for the main idea or gist, used for previewing, overviewing, deciding relevance. Scanning, rapid eye movement to find specific information, used for dates, numbers, names, keywords. Intensive reading, careful, slow, analytical reading, used for examinations, literature, legal text, comprehension questions requiring inference. SQ3R is a powerful intensive reading method: survey, question, read, recite, review. Text structures to recognize: cause-effect, problem-solution, compare-contrast, sequence, description, argument. For homework, select any newspaper article. Apply all 3 reading strategies in sequence: skim for gist, 30 seconds, scan for 3 specific facts, name the facts you found, then read intensively for 5 minutes and write 5 key points from the article in your own words.